Oh, very good evening, all of you. You have taken time, came here, so uh, I don't want to waste your time. So I'll tell some things which will be very important from my side, and what went in my way, so I could clear UPSC in my first attempt. Uh, and I scored interview. I scored 206 in my interview, which I didn't expect when I was preparing for my interview. So let's start the session. Mm, Okay, they have given me a format to ओके ठीक है मुझे मेरा हिंदी उतना अच्छा नहीं रहता क्योंकि मैं साउथ से हूँ ठीक है आई विल ट्राई बिकॉज आई स्टडीड इन राजस्थान फॉर 4 years मैं ट्राई करूँगा लेकिन थोड़ा इधर उधर गलती हो जाए तो डोंट डोंट माइंड ओके मेरे को एक फॉर्मेट दिया है इधर तो मैं उस फॉर्मेट को फॉलो करूँगा आप उसके बाद मैं आपका क्वेश्चंस लेके आपका डाउट्स भी सॉल्व करूँगा Okay, guys. I'll tell briefly about myself. My name is Ashrith Shakhamuri. This is my first attempt. I've done my civil engineering from Bitspilani, Rajasthan. And then immediately after my engineering in 2021, I started preparation. This is my first attempt, and I've gotten rank 40. मेरा यूपीएससी जर्नी बिकॉज आई एम मैं साइंस बैकग्राउंड से हूँ स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट लग रहा था क्योंकि पूरा आर्ट्स में मतलब याद करने के लिए होता है और कॉन्सेप्ट्स थोड़ा कम कम होता है इजी होता है लेकिन ज़्यादा याद करने के लिए होता है वो थोड़ा अलग रहा था एंड मेरा ऑप्शनल एंथ्रोपोलॉजी है उसमें भी आई ऑलवेज थॉट आई शुड हैव टेकन अ साइंस बैकग्राउंड थिंग but it all worked in my favor. Um, yeah, I have taken coaching from Vajiram and Ravi, which is a 10 months course, which started in May 2021 and ended in somewhere March 2022. Yes, I'm giving a timeline for the entire exam. Please wait. Mm, I've started my coaching in May 2021. Exam was in June 2022. So my thing was, well, give me 1 second. I'll see all of your questions at the end. Many people are asking about newspaper. I believe newspaper is the most important part of the preparation because uh, see, one is knowledge. One thing is knowledge. Second thing is awareness. This exam checks awareness as much as it checks knowledge. So most of the questions in the interview, in the mains, you need awareness uh, equally as knowledge. That is why I read newspaper religiously for all along the year. I read newspaper magazines for knowledge purpose, but I read newspaper for awareness purpose. If let's say I did not get a question in mains, with that awareness only, I could write that answer. I'm not seeing your questions, guys. Please don't mind. I'll finish whatever format जो फॉर्मेट उन्होंने दिया है मैं उसको फॉलो करूंगा उसके बाद आपका क्वेश्चंस देखूंगा मैं ठीक है ओके हाँ एनसीईआरटीज फॉर बिगिनर्स बिगिनर्स के लिए ही होता है एनसीईआरटीज क्योंकि आप जब रेफरेंस बुक्स लेते हो तो समझने में थोड़ा टाइम लगता है उसके आगे आपको एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ना है क्योंकि वो बहुत सिंपल लैंग्वेज में होता है आपको बेसिक्स कवर हो जाता है और आपको न्यूज़पेपर और एनसीईआरटीज मिला के पढ़ना है तो आपका एक स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन और स्ट्रॉन्ग बेस बन जाएगा उसके बाद आप जब रेफरेंस बुक्स पढ़ोगे तो आपको बहुत ईजी लगेगा तब इसमें यूपीएससी एग्जाम में ज़्यादा याद करने के लिए रट्टा मारने के लिए होता है मतलब तो बहुत कम कॉन्सेप्ट्स वेरी फ्यू कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड अदरवाइज it is a very easy exam from the perspective of using your intelligence आपका पूरा इंटेलिजेंस प्लान करने में और स्ट्रैटेजी डालने में होता है उसके बाद इट्स ऑल अबाउट रिमेम्बरिंग थिंग्स एंड knowing more about things okay please don't put your questions guys don't mind I'm unable to concentrate I'll finish this as soon as possible see, I have taken coaching from Bajiram for both GS and optional. My optional is anthropology. and I picked optional in such a way that it should have both scoreability and my interest. So you have to balance both, like a seesaw. बचपन में खेलते थे ना seesaw पे. So you have to balance both, because if you take it out of interest and scores कम है, like for example literature subjects में कभी-कभी scores 260 270 हाईएस्ट आता है, वो anthropology में एवरेज रहता है, ठीक है? तो so or interest में interest, you have to consider interest as well, because you have to travel with that subject for at least 2 to 3 4 years depending upon which attempt you are going to crack. So you have to balance both and take that optional. uh, और मैं see ठीक है, will go with the flow. I'll deal with your questions only. Okay. uh, how to prepare short notes? See, short notes I believe is for mains only, not for prelims, because prelims के लिए you read very few books like NCRTs. History के लिए spectrum, uh, after NCRTs history के लिए spectrum, and then polity के लिए Lakshmikant. Or I read Shankar Ganeshan for concepts in economy, and then PMF IAS book for environment. These are the reference books I followed. Other than that, for NCRTs I studied. For economy, it is 11th Indian economic development and 12th macroeconomics. For environment, it is 12th class biology textbook, the last 4 chapters, 13 to 16 chapters. And then for history, please study old NCRTs, because new NCRTs, it is I've studied new NCRTs myself, but when I saw the question papers, उसमें बहुत कम क्वेश्चंस आ रहे थे न्यू एनसीईआरटीज में से, तो मैंने फिर से ओल्ड एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ के गया। तो आप पहले ही ओल्ड एनसीईआरटीज पढ़ लो। हिस्ट्री में सतीश चंद्र का मेडिवल हिस्ट्री के लिए होता है, और आर एस शर्मा जी का बुक एंशियंट हिस्ट्री के लिए, और बिपिन चंद्रा का बुक मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री के लिए। वो 3 एनसीईआरटीज है। तो फॉर ज्योग्राफी यू हैव 11th एंड 12th बुक्स, सोशियो इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी एज वेल एज फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी। ये सब बेसिक होता है, बेसिक बुक्स। और पॉलिटी के लिए यू हैव फॉर 11th क्लास कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन एट वर्क। ये सब बेसिक चीजें पढ़ने के बाद तो आप रेफरेंस बुक्स पे जाइए। सी, यूपीएससी एग्जाम इज टेस्टिंग अ पर्सनालिटी more than knowledge. Apart from knowledge, it's testing your personality, so you have to be as much aware as possible when it comes to things around you, things about your state, about your country, and about the world. I have uh, I have drawn down a technique in saying which topics are important and which are not. I'll tell you, please note it down. The things which are important for India specifically, and things which are important for humanity, they will definitely show up in the question paper sooner or later, because as administrators, as problem solvers, these are the questions you have to address once you get into the job. आप जॉब पे आने के बाद जो क्वेश्चंस आपको सॉल्व करने के लिए होता है, वही एग्जाम में आने के लिए चांसेस ज्यादा है। तो उस पे ज्यादा कॉन्सेंट्रेट करिए। प्रीलिम्स स्मार्ट स्ट्रैटेजी, तो प्रीलिम्स के लिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना, आप जितने भी पढ़ लो, फाउंडेशन आपका अगर ठीक है, और उसके बाद आप ज्यादा करंट अफेयर्स पढ़ा है, फ्रॉम करंट अफेयर्स मैगजीन्स एज वेल एज करंट अफेयर्स न्यूज़पेपर आपको छोड़ना ही मत, बिल्कुल। कुछ टॉपर्स है, मतलब वो बिल्कुल बिना न्यूज़पेपर से उन्होंने क्लियर कर दिया है, लेकिन बट आई एडवाइस you to go through newspaper. I did not read the entire syllabus for mains, but I got this rank with the help of newspaper, because my awareness level was very big. Even if I did not cover a topic from the syllabus, I could write an answer. मैं आंसर लिखता था न्यूज़पेपर से अवेयरनेस जनरेट होने के बाद। तो दैट इज व्हाई न्यूज़पेपर इज इम्पोर्टेंट। और करंट अफेयर्स, उसके प्रीलिम्स ज्यादा ट्रिकी है। मतलब प्रीलिम्स में आपको सिर्फ वो फिल्टर करने के लिए रखा है वो एग्जाम ने। मतलब इफ 1 लाख लोग, 5 लाख लोग डायरेक्ट मेंस लिखते हैं, तो उनको करेक्ट करने के लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है यूपीएससी वालों को। तो एक प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम से एक फिल्टर लगा है टू कट डाउन people who can write mains. That is the only purpose of prelims. They are not checking anything. So they can cross lines in the form of CSAT, in the form of paper one also. They can cross lines, go outside the borders, and give questions. So in situations like these, अगर आपको प्रीलिम्स पास करना है तो आपका फाउंडेशन स्ट्रांग रखिए इन द नेम आई मीन बाय फाउंडेशन आई मीन एनसीईआरटीज न्यूज़पेपर एंड बेसिक रेफरेंस बुक्स उसके बाद आपको गेस करने के लिए होता है आई मीन how much ever you read 40-45 questions is the maximum that you can put confidently in the exam. रफ टाइमलाइन आई विल गिव यू अ रफ टाइमलाइन मैंने पर्सनली अक्षत जैन सर का 2018 में उनका सेकंड रैंक आया था तो मैंने पर्सनली उनका स्ट्रैटेजी फॉलो नियरली उनका स्ट्रैटेजी बेस करके मैंने एक बनाया हूँ तो फर्स्ट 4 months आफ्टर स्टार्टिंग प्रिपरेशन फ्रॉम जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर अक्टूबर आई प्रिपेयर्ड ऑप्शनल and then the next 4 months I prepared main subjects and then next 4 months next 2-3 months I relied complete I mean I prepared completely for prelims July August September October completely optional along with newspapers and basic NCRT reading and then November December January February I focused on main specific subjects like world history, post-independence India, disaster management, environment, all these extra subjects that which are not there in prelims, as well as prelim subjects. And finally, March, April, May. In these 3 months, I focused completely on prelims because it was my first attempt. I did not have the confidence that I could clear prelims. So I studied ancient history, medieval history, modern history, art and culture, environment, polity, economy, geography. These are the subjects you have for prelims. I studied only these subjects in the last 3 months. After I cleared prelims, I came back to those subjects which are specifically there for mains. Mhm. Uh, uh, one person has asked me आपने क्या किया ऐसे फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में क्लियर हुआ है ऑनेस्टली आई डिडंट थिंक मैंने सोचा नहीं कि मेरा फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में ही हो जाएगा लाइक बट आई हैड नथिंग टू लूज so I went there confidently. Also, one reason I got IAS in first attempt is my interview. I got 206 in my interview. Otherwise, I would have got an IPS in first attempt. See, I have done everything. I did not leave any stone unturned. मैंने न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ा हूँ, मैगजीन्स पढ़ा हूँ, all NCRTs पढ़ा हूँ, all basic reference books पढ़ा हूँ. I have written many test series. मतलब मैंने I have written at least 16 to 20 full length tests during mains and 1 hour test तो मैंने 20-25 लिख के गया तो मेरा सब कुछ खत्म हो गया और even if I didn't get I did not have to lose anything. I could have attempted second time or third time. करंट अफेयर्स के लिए आप कुछ भी पढ़ सकते हो मतलब वाजीराम यू कैन फॉलो विजन यू कैन फॉलो देयर इज वन शून्य व्हिच माय फ्रेंड्स हैड फॉलोड यू कैन फॉलो एनीथिंग बट फॉलो वन book religiously. How to read see how to read NCRTs for beginners. वो बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस आ गए. What are the mistakes to avoid according to me? uh, for some mistakes I can point out. I haven't done many. That is why in first attempt I'm here. But I've seen some people doing these mistakes. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल योर माइंडसेट आपका माइंडसेट ऐसा होना चाहिए कि जितने भी पढ़ो आपका ऐसा होना चाहिए आई हैव लर्नड अ लॉट आई विल लर्न मोर आई एम रेडी टू लर्न मोर आई एम रेडी टू लर्न मोर यू शुड बी इन सच अ माइंडसेट because it will you will continuously gather information you try to remember it one you don't be proud of whatever you learn you keep on learning and शुरू में आपको नोट्स नहीं बनाना है क्योंकि आप if you start making notes from the beginning you will note down everything you won't know what is important and what is not uh, न्यूज़पेपर समझने में मेरा शुरू में मेरा न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने के लिए 3 से 3.5 घंटे लगते थे और बाद में वो कम होके आई कुड फिनिश न्यूज़पेपर इन 45 मिनट्स टू 1 आवर। व्हिच बुक्स आई यूज्ड फॉर मेंस पीवाईक्यू के लिए मैंने कुछ आई डिड नॉट बाय एनी बुक्स। पीवाईक्यू के लिए मैं एक मृणाल सर का एक बुक खरीदा था। सॉल्यूशंस के लिए मैंने कुछ नहीं पढ़ा। आई सर्च्ड माय सॉल्यूशंस फ्रॉम गूगल। इफ यू टाइप दैट क्वेश्चन एंड put Drishti IAS or UPSC, you will get that solution for that question. Mhm. For current affairs, I studied both newspaper as well as Vision IAS monthly magazines. और एक ही क्वेश्चन बहुत ज्यादा बार आया है। My daily timetable, uh, I used to study for 8 hours, 8 hours a day normally. But between prelims and mains, I studied for at least 14 to 15 hours because I could not finish my entire syllabus before. I had to finish in that duration. न्यूज़पेपर में कम से कम 3 साल से पढ़ रहा था। मतलब 2021 जनवरी में स्टार्ट किया मैंने। Hi, I this is my first attempt. For someone who is asking, I don't want to take his name. Yes, this is my first attempt. Okay. My newspaper. I have been studying newspaper since January 2021. May 2021 में मेरा कोचिंग स्टार्ट हुआ है और जून 2022 में मतलब विद इन 1 year आफ्टर 1 year 1 year after my coaching started I gave my prelims. मंथली मैगजीन्स में रफली 1 साल के लिए पढ़ा हूँ। मतलब मई 2021 से जून 2022 तक। आई एम फ्रॉम Warangal, which is in Telangana. How to start? Where to start? Please start with NCRTs and newspaper, nothing else. Because most of who are not from arts background, we won't know how where to start. So please start from NCRTs. We have left social sciences in our school times, so go back to those books. Study from 6th to 12th if you don't understand 11th and 12th directly, but 11th and 12th books are enough if you understand those books. If you don't understand, go back to 8th, 9th, 10th. If you don't understand those also, then go to 6th and 7th. Lekin if you understand, just study 11th and 12th. This is a very important question. Test series marks improve kaise kare and analyze kaise kare. See, my test series, I have gotten maximum 97, 95 to 100 is the maximum. But in my final one, for GS, I have crossed 40. I mean, my total is 403. And I never back down when I got poor scores. If you type Vision IAS, Ashrith answer sheets, they'll be very poor marks. But I was always like, that is just to check my own performance. They will have a solution booklet. I can speak in Telugu, but not everybody will understand. I'm sorry. Okay. So in test series क्या होता है कि they will be given a solution booklet, right? And your answers will be corrected according to those solutions. I mean, solution answer, model answer. If you don't have any points from that solution, you won't be given marks. But I was like, I've taken all my points from newspapers, from random sources. They may or may not be there in the model answer of a reputed institute. So I did not worry about marks given to me in test series. For example, for anthropology, I've written only 3 tests, and my highest in those 3 tests was 96. मेरा एंथ्रोपोलॉजी टेस्ट सीरीज में हाईएस्ट 96 था एक पेपर में, हाईएस्ट। और मेरा फाइनल स्कोर्स था 156 and 142. How did that happen? I did not consider those marks which they gave me in test series. I have only taken those comments and suggestions that they have given and improved on my answers. उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं किया मैंने. See, I will go paper wise now. For essay, you don't need any special knowledge. I've written normal essays with basic knowledge from. I have written Mudit Jain sir's video I have watched on YouTube, and Anudeep Durshetty sir's uh, essay part in his book I have studied, which is a which is the basic outline. What is that? Political, social, economical, um, environmental, science, technology, international, ethical. Uh, in these, I've picked up only philosophical topics. In these backgrounds, I have written essay. First introduction, and these eight dimensions through the essay, and then conclusion. This was my essay thing. I did not gather any knowledge or quotations for essay, because whatever knowledge you gain for GS will work for essay as well. So this was my strategy for essay. For GS1 and GS1 to 3, it was mainly, I would say, current affairs oriented, and more knowledge, more about knowledge gaining than about going by the syllabus. For example, if I came across an IT employee, I would ask him, why are IT exports too high in India? Why is Hyderabad rising? What did Bangalore do to go to that level? So, despite being exporting so much, why are we still continuing to export IT supplies? So, these were my questions to an IT employee who was on field. So I would gain knowledge directly from the person who is in the field rather than studying it from books, right? So for example, I went to Hampi once. I have put a guide. मैंने एक गाइड हायर कर रखा था. उन्होंने मुझे पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया कि हम्पी में क्या टेम्पल्स है, हिस्ट्री क्या है, वो सब आर्किटेक्चर क्या है. तो मेरे मेरे GS1 में फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन में मैं पूरा उसके बारे में लिख के आया था. ठीक है, तो मैं आई गॉट नियरली 101 मार्क्स इन GS1. So I focused on and mostly मेरा GS2 GS3 वो सब करंट अफेयर्स ओरिएंटेड में था. इट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर टॉपर्स, बट मेरे को बहुत कम टाइम थे. आई डेंट थिंक आई वुड क्लियर प्रीलिम्स, बट व्हेन आई क्लियर प्रीलिम्स आई हैड टू क्लियर मेंस. So I sorted out the best way to clear it is to go by one, uh, current affairs, and second thing, most important questions from the previous questions. For example, in GS2, you will get hmm, cooperatives or self-help groups every alternate year. Pre-alternate year, you will either get cooperatives or self-help groups. So I have made notes for both of them. I've made notes for both of them, and I have written it in a probable questions book. So I made two books. Only two books I made. One is probable questions book. One is data book. Data book you can also call it value addition. Okay. So in this probable questions book, I have grabbed questions from three sources. One, important issues from current affairs. Two, important questions from previous questions. The questions which are repeating. For example, as I told, food processing industries का GS3 में repeat होगा. Location of industry में GS3 का repeat होगा. तो इसमें मैं आंसर्स लिख के रखा था मैंने इस बुक में. और टेस्ट सी द मोस्ट easiest way to clear मेंस इज, आप ले लीजिए, आप 3-4 इंस्टीट्यूट्स का क्वेश्चंस पेपर्स ले लो और एनालाइज करो क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है. आर यू मोर एक्सपीरियंस्ड और am I more experienced in saying which questions are important? The institutes are more experienced. See, because they have been in the business for the last 30-40 years. They will let if whatever questions which are common in different test series question papers, they are important. So I have written answers for that also. Matlab, for three things I have written answers and made it into a book, which is nearly 50 to 60 pages only, because 20 questions from GS1, 20 questions from GS2, and 20 questions from GS3. And from these 20 questions, 5 to 6 questions came in the final question paper. For example, IR के लिए मैंने 10, I've done 10 topics, only 10 topics only. I can read it out also. Give me 1 minute. For For IR, I have studied Panchsheel, uh, NATO, IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, International North-South Transport Corridor, India West Asia, India Ukraine crisis, India Japan, India Russia, G20, BRICS, BIMSTEC. I have prepared 11 topics, and from these 11 topics, 4 questions came. All 4 questions from IR came from only 11 questions which I have prepared. I can show you. See, for BIMSTEC, I have prepared only 3 pages. One, not even three. Right. I'll show another one. IPF also came in the question paper. So for IPF, I have written 2 pages notes. Right. So when I said mine was current affairs oriented, these current affairs, from these current affairs only, I have taken these 10 topics. Right. How to manage time with job. If it is your first attempt, it will be difficult if you with the job to clear it. But if you keep the job aside and prepare for 1 year, then you can go forward with the job and simultaneously prepare. My optional subject is anthropology. Apart from coaching, how much time have I given? I did not give more than 2 hours. Those 2 hours also went to newspaper only. So my schedule was like, when I've taken coaching, my schedule was like 3 hours optional ka class, 3 hours GS ka class, or 2 hours newspaper. 8 hours. My 8 hours over for that day. Uh, Beyond which I did not study anything. My entire studying process I've started full fledged after my coaching was over in February. Uh, Resources for geography, I have studied 11th class and 12th class, 4 NCRTs. For physical geography, 2. For socioeconomic geography, that is human geography, 2 NCRTs. Total 4 NCRTs. Uh, uh, 1 मिनट दे दीजिए. मैं क्वेश्चंस देख रहा हूँ जिन्होंने मुझे दिया है. करंट अफेयर्स का तो मैंने बता दिया है. न्यूज़पेपर इंपॉर्टेंट है अवेयरनेस बढ़ाने के लिए, नॉलेज के लिए नहीं. तो करंट अफेयर्स का नॉलेज आपको मैगजीन से आएगा, तो दोनों पढ़ना है आपको. अगर अच्छे से जल्दी क्लियर करना है तो दोनों पढ़ो, और कंफर्ट जोन में रहना है तो एक पढ़ो, आपकी मर्जी. यूपीएससी की तैयारी कब से स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए? It will take at least 1 to 1.5 years before prelims. My prelims was in June 2022. I have started in January 2021. Uh, Although मैंने कम टाइम पढ़ा था, मतलब उस 6 मंथ्स में, पहले 6 मंथ्स में मैं 3-4 घंटे पढ़ता था, लेकिन पढ़ता था जैन से जून तक, पहले 6 मंथ्स में. टाइम टेबल कैसे बनाने चाहिए? हैव ए डिसिप्लिन टाइम टेबल. मतलब अगर आप आज 5 बजे रनिंग जाओगे तो कल भी ऐसे ही जाना है, पूरा साल ऐसे ही जाओ, क्योंकि आपको इतने लंबे साइकिल में मोटिवेशन नहीं रहेगा पढ़ने के लिए. तो आपका मोटिवेशन इंटरनल होनी चाहिए, वो डिसिप्लिन से आएगा. तो आपका अगर आपको एक डिसिप्लिन्ड टाइम टेबल है, डिसिप्लिन्ड साइकिल है, वो टाइम टेबल ही आपको, इट विल पुश यू फॉरवर्ड. आप सामने it will take you forward, and then you don't need any motivation from any YouTube classes or any sirs. So that is why have a very disciplined routine. हाउ टू मोटिवेट माई सेल्फ दैट इज आई टू कभी कभी सॉन्ग सुनो, मूवी देखो, फ्रेंड्स के साथ बाहर जाओ, इन सब से आपको मोटिवेशन मिलेगा, लेकिन वो ज़्यादा लंबे समय तक नहीं रहेगा, क्योंकि वो एक्सटर्नल मोटिवेशन है। अगर आपको इंटरनल मोटिवेशन चाहिए, तो अ, वी उस वो आपको डिसिप्लिन्ड रूटीन से ही आएगा। मेरा टाइम ओके। ऑप्शनल सब्जेक्ट कैसे चूज़ करना है, मैंने आपको बता दिया है। यूपीएससी हुँ, मीडियम कैसे चूज़ करें? आपको अगर इंग्लिश कंफर्टेबल है, प्लीज़ टेक इंग्लिश। इफ यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल, गो फॉर योर मदर टंग, बिकॉज़ अगर आप इंग्लिश ले लिया है, तो उसके उसके बाद आपको अगर पढ़ना डिफ़िकल्ट हो रहा है, तो वो यू कांट गो बैक। तो आपका जो भी कंफर्टेबल है, उस लैंग्वेज ले लीजिए। तो दोनों कंफर्टेबल है, इंग्लिश ले लो। अ, और आप जिसे कोई भी लैंग्वेज में लिखो, वो फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, वो कंटेंट देखेगा यूपीएससी वालों ने। डोंट माइंड माय हिंदी, इट इज़ if it is some grammar mistakes are there। तो यूपीएससी तैयारी के लिए दिल्ली जाना ज़रूरी नहीं है, वो ये 10 साल 20 साल पुराने की बात है। मतलब उस समय कोचिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स सिर्फ़ दिल्ली में था, और अ, ऑनलाइन में क्लासेस नहीं रहता था, तो दिल्ली जाना ज़रूरी था उस समय, द 10, 20, 15 साल के पहले। अब ज़रूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि पूरा ऑनलाइन हो गया है, और आपको क इंटरनेट में एक बहुत ज़्यादा सोर्सेस मिल रहा है, आपको फ़िल्टर करना पड़ रहा है, तो आपको दिल्ली जाना ज़रूरी नहीं है। देखो, मेरा प्रिपरेशन प्रीलिम्स तक घर पे गया है, और उसके बाद आई वेंट टू हैदराबाद फॉर मेंस प्रिपरेशन। आई एम फ्रॉम वारंगल। Only I've completed my preparation from Warangal and Hyderabad only। मैं अ, मैं दिल्ली 1 महीने के लिए गया था, और वो भी इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन के समय पे मॉक इंटरव्यूज़ देने के लिए। अ, सोशल मीडिया यूज़ आप यूज़ कर सकते हो, मैं इंस्टाग्राम चला रहा था प्रिपरेशन के समय पे भी। लेकिन मेरा इंस्टाग्राम में जो फॉलोइंग है, वो सब प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी, और सारे मिनिस्ट्रीज़ के ऑफ़िशियल पेजेस, और वायरली द बेटर इंडिया, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, द हिंदू, बेटर और फर्स्ट पोस्ट, ये सब न्यूज़ चैनल्स, इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, सीएनएन, अ, वो सब न्यूज़ चैनल्स और ऑफ़िशियल गवर्नमेंट हैंडल्स, उनको मैं फ़ॉलो करता था। तो मैं कभी भी इफ आई गेट बोर्ड फ्रॉम स्टडीज़ एंड आई ओपन Instagram, I will see the same content which I have to write in the exams. So it was working both ways. One for time pass, and the second for gathering information. YouTube also you can आप YouTube भी ऐसे ही यूज़ कर सकते हो। हुँ। मैप्स आपको अ, ईज़ीएस्ट तरीके से आपको मैप समझना है, तो आप गूगल मैप्स यूज़ कर दीजिए, वो फ़िज़िकल मैप्स के साथ। तो क्या है, किधर है, डिस्टेंस देखो, लैटिट्यूड्स देखो, आपके घर से कितना दूर है, वो सब देखो, रेफ़रेंसेस रखो। तो ऐसे आपको ईज़िली समझ आ जाएगा। रिवीजन कैसे करें? रिवीजन आपको शॉर्ट नोट्स बनाना है मेंस के लिए, तो आप जब रिवीजन करोगे, पूरा आपका जो 30-20 बुक्स जो पूरा पढ़ते हो, उस सबको आप रिवाइज़ नहीं कर पाते हो। तो शॉर्ट नोट्स बनाओ। उस शॉर्ट नोट्स ऐसा होना चाहिए कि अ, 1 घंटे, 2 घंटे में पूरा सब्जेक्ट हो जाने चाहिए। तो आपको एक सिंगल वर्ड्स, यूज़ निमोनिक्स, यूज़ वर्ड्स, यूज़ फ्लो चार्ट्स, डायग्राम्स, वो सब यूज़ करके आप नोट्स बनाओ। रिवीजन रिवीजन में आपको जो वो सब्जेक्ट ज़्यादा पढ़ना है कि वो हाई इम्पैक्ट होनी चाहिए। अगर आप डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट लेके एक पूरा दिन बैठोगे मेंस के समय पे, तो आपको आपका प्रिपरेशन अच्छा नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि उसमें से अगर आए तो 1 क्वेश्चन आएगा। 1 क्वेश्चन के लिए आप एक पूरा दिन नहीं बैठ सकते। तो आपको गवर्नेंस, पॉलिटी ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ना है, ताकि उनमें से क्वेश्चन्स आएगा, और आप अच्छे से अटेम्प्ट कर पाओगे। पढ़ा हुआ याद कैसे रखें? किसी को याद नहीं रहेगा, ट्रस्ट मी, क्योंकि ह्यूमन मेमोरी बहुत छोटा है, बहुत कम समय के लिए याद होता है। तो आपको अगर अच्छे से याद करना है, तो याद करने की चीज़ें जो होती है, वो बाद में पढ़ो। एग्ज़ाम के टाइम जस्ट एग्ज़ाम के आगे पढ़ो और समझने की चीज़ होती है, वो पहले पढ़ के समझ लो। कि I segregated my entire preparation into 2 parts. One, concepts and second, रट्टा मारने की चीज़। तो जो समझने की चीज़ है, the things which I have to understand by concept, I did this in the first phase of my preparation. तो अब मैं जब एग्ज़ाम को जाता था लास्ट 1 वीक, लास्ट 10 डेज़, तो मैं जो रट्टा मारने की चीज़ है, वो पढ़ता था। तो मैं ये भी परफ़ेक्ट होता था और वो याद करने वाले नोट्स भी परफेक्ट होता था, तो ऐसा चले जाता। इट इज़ वन ईज़ी वे टू go forward with the preparation because you can't remember the things for your entire course of the preparation for 2 years, for 3 years आपको याद नहीं रहेगा। प्लान भी रखना चाहिए मतलब 3-4 अटेम्प्ट्स के बाद आप अगर 6 अटेम्प्ट्स देना चाहते हो, तो 3 अटेम्प्ट्स में बाद रखो। पहले पहले से सोचना मत। इफ यू आर वेल कंफर्टेबल फाइनेंशियली एंड फैमिली सपोर्ट वाइज़, डोंट प्लान बी के बारे में सोचना मत, वो आपको आप डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो जाओगे। तो पूरा फ़ोकस आपको यही रखो। अगर कुछ गलती होता है तो बाद में देख लो, लेकिन पढ़ने समय प्लान बी के बारे में मत सोचना कि आपका फ़ोकस डाइवर्ट हो जाएगा। हुँ, हुँ, हुँ। Hmm. Answer writing practice. See, as far as I understood about mains, it is about showing your knowledge because your answer sheet is the only medium. मैं आपको यूट्यूब के मीडियम से बात कर रहा हूँ आपसे। अ, अगर आपको एग्ज़ामिनर से बात करना है तो आपको सिर्फ़ आंसर शीट से अ, म आंसर शीट का माध्यम से ही बात करना होगा। तो आपको आपका नेम उनको पता नहीं होगा, आपका कुछ भी डिटेल्स उनके पास नहीं होगा, तो आप उनसे बात करना चाहिए तो आपको आंसर शीट्स के माध्यम से बात करना है। तो फिर आप कितना नॉलेज दिखाओ है वो इम्पोर्टेंट है, आपका इधर इधर कितना है वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है। आप जितना पेपर में रखोगे वो इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट इन दिस सिनेरियो। इट इज़ 50% important for mains, 50% is your content, 50% is answer writing. मैंने 1 महीने के लिए लिखा था आंसर राइटिंग फ़रवरी में। फ़रवरी में मैं 1 महीने के लिए बिफोर माय प्रीलिम्स आई प्रैक्टिस्ड आंसर राइटिंग फॉर 1 मंथ। सो आई डिड नॉट गेन एनी एक्सपर्टीज़ बट आई अंडरस्टूड कि गलतियाँ क्या हो सकते हैं। पेपर फिनिश नहीं करना एक गलती है। कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि मैं 15 क्वेश्चंस लिखूँगा 20 में से और वो 15 अच्छा लिखूँगा, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा। आपको पूरा पेपर अटेम्प्ट करना ही करना है। तो अ, आप देयर आर तो since since we are talking about answer writing, I will give you 3 tips about answer writing. There are 3 elements in answer writing. One is speed. आपको सारे 20 क्वेश्चंस अटेम्प्ट करना है। सेकंड आपको अ, स्ट्रक आपका आंसर का स्ट्रक्चर अच्छा होना चाहिए। अगर अगर इन एग्ज़ामिनर आपको पेपर देखा है, तो उनको इमीडिएटली समझ में आना चाहिए कि ये बंदा क्या लिखा है। इंट्रोडक्शन ये है, कंक्लूजन ये है और बीच में मेन बॉडी ही हैड एड्रेस्ड ऑल द पार्ट्स। तो ये स्ट्रक्चर होता है और उसके बाद वैल्यू एडिशन। आई विल गिव यू 2 स्टेटमेंट्स। टेक फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल इंडिया में इनइक्वालिटी ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है। आई मीन बढ़ते जा रहा है। Rich is getting richer, poor is getting poorer. This is statement one. And statement two, if I write, according to Oxfam's inequality report, India's rank has fallen from 50 to 70. Which one is better? The second statement is better. तो obviously आपका जब एक रिपोर्ट को कोट करोगे, एक कमिटी रिपोर्ट को कोट करोगे और ज़्यादा नंबर्स दोगे कि जेल जेल 120% ओवर क्राउडिंग है और पेंडेंसी जुडिशियरी में इतना पेंडेंसी है कि वो केसेस आपका केसेस सॉल्व करने में भी 300 साल लग जाएगा। ये ऐसा आपको नंबर्स, कमिटी रिपोर्ट्स और एनजीओज़ का रिपोर्ट्स, ऑफिशियल गवर्नमेंट रिपोर्ट्स, वो सब देने वैल्यू एडिशन होता है। तो 3 चीज़ें क्या है आंसर राइटिंग में? वन इज़ स्पीड, वन इज़ स्ट्रक्चर, वन इज़ वैल्यू एडिशन। तो वैल्यू एडिशन आप साइमल्टेनियसली करते रहो आपका पूरा प्रिपरेशन में। और आप जब आंसर राइटिंग करना स्टार्ट करते हो, फर्स्ट फोकस ऑन स्पीड। Completing your paper is the most important thing. So finish your paper, 20 questions, even if you don't have any structure, even if you don't have any value addition. That is one. Second, focus on structure ऐसा होना चाहिए कि let's say my two palms are two sheets of paper, and introduction you have to write 4 lines, and then this should be the main body part 1, and till here it should be the main body part 2, this should be the conclusion. So you have to write 3-4 lines introduction, 3-4 लाइन conclusion होना चाहिए, और बीच में पूरा main body. और main body में if it is 10 marker, if it is a 10 marker, you should write 2 parts. कि आप प्रीवियस पेपर्स खोल के देखो, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि 10 मार्कर्स में 2 इम्पोर्टेंट मेन बॉडी पार्ट्स होता है, 2 इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट्स होता है एड्रेस करने के लिए, और 15 मार्कर्स में 3 इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट्स होता है एड्रेस करने के लिए. तो योर स्ट्रक्चर हैज टू बी इन सच अ वे दैट 3-4 लाइन्स फॉर इंट्रोडक्शन, 3-4 लाइन्स फॉर कंक्लूजन, एंड बीच में पूरा मेन बॉडी दैट वेयर यू हैव टू एड्रेस द क्वेश्चन एग्जैक्टली. तो क्या पूछ रहा है वो वही लिखना है. ठीक है. और तो मैंने 10 मार्कर में 2 पार्ट्स बोला ना, एक फर्स्ट पार्ट में 5 पॉइंट, सेकंड पार्ट में 5 पॉइंट, पूरा कुल मिला के 10 पॉइंट, 10 मार्कर के लिए 10, ऐसा 15 मार्कर के लिए यू हैव टू राइट 15 पॉइंट्स. इट इज बेयर मिनिमम. इफ यू हैव मोर, अगर आपके पास ज्यादा कंटेंट है तो लिख लो, लेकिन 5 पॉइंट तो कम से कम लिखना ही चाहिए. 1 पॉइंट के लिए, 1 मार्क के लिए 1 पॉइंट लिखना ही चाहिए. Okay, I'm taking these doubts. I Somebody has asked for my notes. Distraction को avoid करे. Try to avoid distractions. So if you distractions मतलब if somebody calls you out for a party, tell them you will come on a Sunday. और 6 days पूरा खूब पढ़ो. 6 days खूब पढ़ो. 7th day you go out for a party. That is what I would say, because I won't say don't go for a movie, don't go for a party. That is not possible to live in this world, and it will make you mad only. So take holidays, but take planned holidays, right? uh, I'm seeing your messages. Uh, so so distraction को ऐसा avoid करो. मतलब you plan it in such a way that you have to study, you have to come to a checkpoint. Let's say अगर मुझे कोई बाहर जाने के लिए पूछता है, तो मैं I'll finish one full or 2 full subjects depending upon which stage of my preparation I am. I'll study history, I'll study polity, and then I'll go out. That is, I'm rewarding myself. मैं मुझको रिवॉर्ड दे रहा हूँ कि मैं 2 सब्जेक्ट्स पूरा पढ़ लिया है, तो इट विल बी अ मोटिवेशन टू गो फॉरवर्ड. आपको डॉग ट्रेनिंग पता है ना, डॉग्स को कैसे ट्रेन करता है. वो सिट बोलता है, अगर वो बैठता है ना तो एक ट्रीट देता है उनको. वही हमको हमारे साथ करना है. यू रीड 1 or 2 subjects, take a break, and because you have earned it. Importance of notes in anthropology. I have made for anthropology. I have made notes in Evernote. Uh, as I said, for conceptual part, I understood everything. For example, there is something called nature spirit complex. I understood what is nature spirit complex, and in the notes part, I have written only concept nature spirit complex. Who has given LP Vidyarthi? In which book he has given the Malayer man? तो ऐसा मैं नोट्स लिखता था. जो जो याद करने के लिए चीज होता है, सिर्फ वही नोट्स में लिखता था, और कॉन्सेप्चुअल पार्ट है वो याद करता था. टू I completed my course. Which course? I did not understand. GS3 पेपर को कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, बस मार्क्स लाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है. सी GS3 इज अ, इस साल में जिस साल में लिखा है GS3 में कम मार्क्स दिया हुआ है क्योंकि पेपर डिफिकल्ट थी. पेपर इजी था, सबको कम मार्क्स मिला है. जी, फिर भी मैं आपको बोलूंगा कि GS3 कैसा प्रिपेयर करना है. पूरा करंट अफेयर्स के अराउंड आपको प्रिपेयर करना है. देखो, एग्रीकल्चर में 5 क्वेश्चन तो आएगा ही, और लोकेशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री में 1 क्वेश्चन, उसके बाद डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट में 1 या 2 क्वेश्चंस, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में 3-4 क्वेश्चंस. तो ये सबको आपको नोट्स बनाना है. और मैंने पहले स्टार्टिंग में बताया कि मैंने 2 बुक्स प्रिपेयर किया नोट्स में. तो एक बुक्स में प्रोबेबल क्वेश्चन बुक्स, क्वेश्चन नोट्स, एंड द सेकंड बुक इज डेटा बुक. GS3 में आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा डेटा डंप करना है. तो उनको पता चलेगा कि आपको ज़्यादा नॉलेज है. तो इस डेटा आप कहाँ से लोगे? आप न्यूज़पेपर से लो, आप मंथली मैगज़ीन से भी ले लो, कुछ भी करो, पर आपको सिलेबस में सब टॉपिक से आपको एटलीस्ट 2-3 डेटा पॉइंट्स होना चाहिए. अगर आपको वुमेन नहीं, अगर आपको GS3 इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी नक्सलिज्म के बारे में पूछा है, तो आपको कितना डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स अफेक्टेड है इंडिया में, वो देखना है. रिसेंट होम मिनिस्ट्री रिपोर्ट क्या है, और कौन-कौन इंटरनल इंसर्जेंसी से डील करता है, मतलब नक्सलिज्म से. वो सब ये सब आपको डंप करना है. नंबर्स दिखना है उनको GS3 पेपर में. This, in short, this is what I would say. Arts background students also start from preparation. See, arts background students, you will have the basics already. uh, you don't have to start from NCRTs. You can just directly go for 11th 12th NCRTs तो आपको पढ़ना ही है. You don't have to go for 6th to 10th. You take 11th 12th NCRTs and then go to reference books. For example, अगर आप आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड से ही है, तो फिर भी आपको ज्योग्राफी में 11th 12th NCRTs पढ़ना है. Roadmap for 2025, I'll give a brief timeline. पहले, you start reading newspaper every day. Second, choose an optional and finish your optional as soon as possible. Simultaneously, you can't study only one book, one subject for 3-4 months. 3-4 months में आपको optional finish करना है. So you can't study for 3-4 months only one subject. So you finish NCRTs in the same time. So by the end of 4 months, your NCRTs will be over, your optional will be over, and then go for, in the next 4 months, go for all revision of your NCRTs and reading of your reference books. So in 8 months, you will be finishing your NCRTs, reference books, as well as optional. And by these 8 months, you will understand कि न्यूज़पेपर कैसे पढ़ना है, क्या-क्या चीज़ें लिखना है उनमें से. Then in the next 4 months, revise all this. By this time, you will be writing prelims. So I have given 12 months roadmap for 2025 exam. See, mm, I will share my notes. I will share my notes on Telegram. Um, for value addition, see, the main thing I focused on during my preparation is value addition. So I'll share my notes on value addition in my Telegram. I don't have one now. I will create one immediately. I'll upload my notes there. And I'll paste the same in my, the only channel I have now to interact with you is my Instagram. So in the Instagram, I'll paste the Telegram link as soon as possible. I'll upload my notes there. Whoever is asking my notes can approach in that way. I started preparation 1.5 years before my prelims. My prelims was in June 2022. I prepared in Jan 2021. Some tips for CSAT. This is very important. CSAT is very important because they wanted to teach you a lesson. because many people have been लोग लोग छोड़ता था, मतलब सीसैट का प्रिपरेशन बिना करके ही चला जाता था। तो देयर वर डेज वेयर इट वर्कड, बट नाउ यूपीएससी वालों को गुस्सा आया है, तो आपको दोनों पेपर एक ही लेंस में से देखना है, मतलब बोथ आर इम्पोर्टेंट। दे नीड प्रॉब्लम सॉल्वर्स। आप अगर आप आर्ट्स बैकग्राउंड से, डोंट फील डिमोटिवेटेड बिकॉज दे आर नॉट चेकिंग मैथ्स। वो मैथ्स है, लेकिन उतना डिफिकल्ट मैथ्स भी नहीं है, वो आपका एप्टीट्यूड देख रहा है। आप प्रीवियस ईयर्स पेपर्स ले लो, सिर्फ उससे भी नहीं होगा, तो आप गाइड बुक्स भी ले लो सीसैट के लिए। अगर आप वेल ऑफ है तो सीसैट के लिए you can take coaching as well, because it is getting more and more difficult. For non-math students, please take previous question papers and guide books. There are some types of questions, for example direction questions, for example calendar questions, probability questions, all these will repeat again and again. And for non-math students, please focus on English. इस बार जिसने इंग्लिश पे ज्यादा क्वेश्चंस रखा है उसका क्लियर हो गया, उन लोगों का क्लियर हो गया। और जो लोग मैथ स्टूडेंट्स है, जिन्होंने सिर्फ और सिर्फ मैथ्स सॉल्व, who planned only to solve maths in the paper, they failed. Even though they are from good colleges, they failed CSAT. Hmm. मैंने शायद कुछ मिस्टेक्स नहीं किया होगा, इसलिए मेरा पहली अटेम्प्ट में हो गया। डोंट टेक इट अदरवाइज, बट शायद मैंने कुछ मिस्टेक्स नहीं किया होगा। I'm not saying out of pride, but I think I haven't done any mistake. That is why I'm here in my first attempt. How to identify probable questions? I'll tell you. Please note it down because this is very important. There are three ways to identify probable questions. One uh, is one is previous years questions में, for example food processing industries in GS3, every year a question will be there. uh, every year a question will be there, so you make that answer and write it down, right? For sec 2, uh, common questions in test series. So if compared to us, common questions, sorry, if compared to us, इंस्टीट्यूट्स वालों को ज्यादा पता होगा कि क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है क्या इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है। तो जब अगर आप ले लो, मैं नाम ले रहा हूँ, विजन ले लो, हाजीराम ले लो, फॉरम आईएएस ले लो, शंकर आईएएस ले लो, उनमें से कॉमन क्वेश्चंस है, तो उनका आंसर्स आप लिख के रखो, क्योंकि they will know better which are important questions, and if there are common questions among those test series, they are most important, right? So you write question answers for them also. And third one, the things which you are continuously seeing in the newspapers. For example, this year G20, it almost showed up in the newspaper every other day, every alternate day it showed up in the newspaper. So newspapers, previous papers, and common questions in test series, ये सब देख के आपको probable questions find करना है। I will upload my probable questions book, I will upload my data book, so you will know कि कौन से questions आपको पहले answers लिख के रखना है। This is the easiest way to clear mains, guys, for your information. Mm. I will be giving guidance through my Telegram. I'll make it as soon as possible. I'll put the link in my Instagram. Newspapers, I prepared current affairs through newspapers as well as current affairs magazines. Newspaper is for generating awareness. Magazines is to revise that knowledge. Online resources for GS3. Oh. GS 1, 2, 3 anthropology. Okay, for GS 1, art and culture, NCRT, fine arts NCRT 11th class. Ancient and medieval history, 11th class NCRTs. Sorry, not 11th class, old NCRTs, I'm sorry. For modern history, Vipin Chandra, as well as Spectrum, right? Uh, for post-independence India and world history, there are single page notes of Shreyans Kumar sir in Google. You can find it, or I will upload this in my Telegram as soon as possible. So, what are the other subjects you have in GS1? इंडियन सोसाइटी के लिए आपको आप देख लीजिए विजन वैल्यू एडेड मटेरियल, ये सब आप GS1 करिए। GS2 में पॉलिटी लक्ष्मीकांत एंड विजन वैल्यू एडेड मटेरियल, गवर्नेंस विजन वैल्यू एडेड मटेरियल। IR पूरा करंट अफेयर से करो जैसे मैंने किया है। मैंने 10 क्वेश्चंस प्रिपेयर किया हूँ और उसमें से 4 क्वेश्चंस आ गया एग्जाम में। सो गो बाय करंट अफेयर्स फॉर IR। Okay, and the rest social issues, you please go through vision value added material as well as current affairs and yeah, current affairs. And GS3, I told a few minutes ago, for agriculture you make notes. uh, and GS3 is the easiest paper. People think it is the difficult. I didn't get many marks, but I think it is the easiest paper because you can completely prepare for it through current affairs. I don't have Telegram yet. I'll paste it in my uh, I'll create it as soon as possible. Okay, what is the best way? I'll paste it in my Instagram, or I'll send it to UPSC time people. They will put it somewhere. I will give I will give as much guidance as possible. हिंदी मीडियम में कुछ कोई प्रॉब्लम, किसी भी मीडियम ले लो आप, अगर इंग्लिश में कंफर्टेबल नहीं है तो आपका मदर टंग ले लो, कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा। लेकिन बाद में जब आप इंटरव्यू दोगे तब थोड़ा ट्रांसलेशन का प्रॉब्लम होने की चांसेस है, क्योंकि आप कुछ और बोलेगा, वो कुछ और समझेगा। तो इंटरव्यू में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है अगर वो मदर टंग है। If it is Hindi, then wonderful. There is no problem at all. Only content will be checked. So my entire preparation was 2.5 years. I started in Jan 2021. Result came in May 2023. So it is nearly 2 to 2.5 years. मेंस का आंसर राइटिंग आप प्रीलिम्स के पहले ही स्टार्ट करो, लेकिन 1 महीने के लिए करो जैसे मैंने किया है, क्योंकि आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है क्या नहीं है। मतलब आपको अगर आंसर राइटिंग स्ट्रेंथ है वो पता चलेगा, अगर आंसर राइटिंग वीक है तो वो भी पता चल जाएगा कि किधर प्रॉब्लम है आपको आंसर राइटिंग में। So, and I believe problem is half the solution. Once you find the problem, you're 50% over. Your solution is 50% over. That means you have to find the solution only. That you can do after your prelims is cleared. Previous year's paper कैसे analyze करना है? See, two things. See which topics is he focusing on. For example, every year one question will come on food processing industries. That is, it is important for India. Second, uh, some some questions come every year, but in a different form. For example, location of industries. You make answer and write it down somewhere. Um, Third, yeah, and there are some dynamic topics like IR, internal security. These are so dynamic. By seeing those questions, you will understand that these topics have to be prepared from current affairs. So you should focus on current affairs there. So this is how you should analyze question paper, previous year's papers. And if it is prelims, there are some hot topics that you should focus upon. तो आपको पता चलेगा कि क्या कैसे क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहा है, किस टॉपिक से क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहा है, द स्टाइल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड the important topics from question papers. In such way you should analyze. फिल्म्स के लिए कुछ अलग से स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है, तो मेरा मिला के स्ट्रैटेजी इज कोचिंग कंपलसरी। आई वुड से कोचिंग if you are not thorough with your basics, take coaching, and if you're well off, please take coaching, because um, if let's say you understand a concept in 1 or 2 year, sorry, if you understand a concept in 2 days, with coaching the same concept you will understand in 1 day, which means your time has been halved. So now extrapolate this. If you can understand the entire syllabus in 2 years, probably you may understand it in 1.5 or 1 year with coaching. So in such sense, I would say coaching important sometimes. How much hours? I studied for 8 to 9 hours every day, and then between prelims and mains, I studied for 14 to 15 hours. That is the actual part. That is the actual time where you should study a lot. मेरा प्रीलिम्स का कुछ अलग से स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है, मैं मेन से कंबाइंड ही पढ़ रहा था। पर जब 3 महीने के when only 3 months were left for prelims, I jumped to only prelims books. I kept aside all my optional books and only mains topics books, and I studied only polity, history, economy, geography, environment, current affairs, art and culture. Only these I studied. फिल्म्स के लिए आपको जितना पढ़ते हो उससे ज़्यादा आपको अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए। मतलब नॉलेज आई एम मेंशनिंग अगेन, नॉलेज इज़ डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अवेयरनेस। फॉर एग्जांपल्स इस बार मार्सुपियल्स पे एक क्वेश्चन आया है। मैंने नहीं लिखा लेकिन मैंने क्वेश्चन पेपर देखा है। Marsupials are those creatures uh, whose offsprings will be half born. This part I have studied in some non-fiction book, and I remembered this. It is not there anywhere in the syllabus. So, but I answered this question from awareness, not knowledge. Not, I mean, not from my general studies knowledge or from my preparation. So that is why I'm saying uh, gain as much awareness and knowledge as possible. From keep your eyes and ears open. Mhm. My percentage in 12th doesn't matter. I'll tell you my degree. I mean, my BTech final score. It is 7.35. When to make uh, one notes before pre, make all your notes before prelims only, because after prelims uh, you won't have time to write notes. That is the time to revise your notes which is already written. So whatever notes you want to make it before prelims only. See, I'll tell you percentage wise. Analyzing previous year's questions is 40%. uh, Reading newspaper is 40%. The rest is only 20%. So that's how high the importance of newspaper and previous year questions are. Anthropology resources, please note down, I'm saying for paper 1, nk Vaid, book, and uh, for socio-cultural anthropology, brain tree material. For physical anthropology, Pinath, there's a book called Pinath, right? uh, for paper 2, I have read Apala Mishra ma'am's notes, who is a 2020 ranker uh, for both tribal and Indian anthropology, and I've studied Nadeem Hasnain's two books, Tribal and Indian Anthropology. These are the resource list for anthropology. Beyond which, if you need a guide, pick Akshat Jain sir's Anthropology Demystified book. See, when it comes to essay, I myself have suffered with that problem, thinking philosophical essay is very difficult. But philosophical essay is only easy. Normal essays you can't write. एग्जाम्पल ले लो आप, अगर essay में 10 पेज लिखना है, 1,000 वर्ड का essay लिखना है, तो आप ही समझो कि एजुकेशन और हेल्थ और एक टॉपिक में 10 पेज लिखना आसान है, या फिलोसफिकल में 10 अलग-अलग टॉपिक्स ले लो, वो लिखना आसान है। एक फिलोसॉफिकल एसे लिखना आसान होगा, क्योंकि आपको एक टॉपिक में 10 पेज नहीं लिखने का होता है। अगर इस बार का अगर आप एसे देखो, a ship is safe at the harbor, but that is not what it is meant for. There are different. This is a philosophical line. It is a quotation. You can interpret in different way. I can interpret in different way. So there, I can, for example, you only can interpret in 10 or 12 different ways. So you write 10 or 12 different interpretations in 10 different pages. Your essay is over. For example, in polity, you can think it like government money can be used for freebies for the government to be safe, but it is not what public money is meant for. Have you seen the sink with the quotation? Second, a scientist may be safe without trying because he won't fail without trying, but it is not what scientists do. They do research. They may fail, but they do research. That is what they are meant for. So, like this, you have to interpret philosophical essays, the quotations. How to revise standard books? For some standard books, you can directly highlight. For example, PM of IAS for environment, you can highlight in the book itself. For two books, you can't make notes. One is Lakshmikant, two is Spectrum. For those, you can't make notes because it is already concise. You can't cut it down further. Otherwise, you can make notes in Evernote. For example, for anthropology, I made notes uh, to those things which I need to remember. Concepts wise, I understood everything. I mean, I try to memorize concepts and wrote notes only for those things where I have to remember. How to prepare GS online classes? Apart from online classes, you study your NCRTs and reference books and newspaper. This is enough. Mm. And if you are writing 2024, finish your optional as soon as possible. Mm. Uh, some uh, I'm reading out the question. I'm preparing for 2024 from July 2023. Is this time sufficient? It will be sufficient if you don't waste any time now and you finish your optional as soon as possible. You finish your time optional as soon as possible. Make notes of it, put it aside, and then focus on GS completely. I did use iPad. I made notes in iPad. I used Good Notes as well as Evernote. Uh, CSAT के लिए I told you, no, pick up previous papers, and nowadays previous papers are essential, but they are not. Um, they are not sufficing. So you please go for some guidebooks as well, where on a particular topic, for example, calendar questions, you will get 100 questions. Practice those. So you'll get used to those questions, and practice English questions as well, because इंग्लिश में क्वेश्चंस इजी आ रहा है. इंग्लिश में इजी क्वेश्चंस आ रहा है, तो आपको वहाँ बैठ के डिसाइड करना है कि कौन से क्वेश्चंस चूज करना है. It is a game in the examination as well. You have to plan your exam, your pattern of answering questions, but in the exam, depending upon the difficulty, you have to choose questions. Is it okay to guess questions that can be asked while reading any concept? Please do, please do. I did that while reading a. I don't want to name you here, but this is a very good question. While reading a concept, please guess questions. I mean, how, in what sense the a question may be asked. In what sense a question may be asked from this topic, you try such things. For example, in the beginning of the preparation, I did this. I was guessing questions. Later in the preparation, I was guessing answers. And for seeing a question, I was thinking, For example, if it is the examination hall, I used to brainstorm if this question comes in the question paper, what would I write? Even though I didn't write it down, I used to think in my mind. That will help. That will help you in the later part of the preparation. I have taken coaching from Vajiram and Ravi, Delhi, but it was online because second wave of COVID was going on. What is the role of diagrams and flowcharts in mains answers? You draw diagrams, you draw maps. It will, glorify your answer, which is otherwise a boring one. That is the role of diagrams and flowcharts. Otherwise, write the answer in points, not in paragraphs. If it is GS, write in points. See, the ultimate point is examiner को easily अंडरस्टैंड होना चाहिए कि बंदा ने क्या लिखा है. So, uh, in whatever way you can represent your information, go for it. Whether it is diagram, if it is geography, use India map, world map, draw mountains, rivers if you can. Yeah, like that. If it is ethics, draw flowcharts, draw diagrams, draw hub and spoke model answers. If your answer style is getting monotonous, for example, for all 20 questions, rather than writing only point wise, once in 5 questions you draw diagrams. No, I did for ancient and medieval history. I did not make any notes. I only highlighted in that book. I've taken coaching from Vajira. हाँ, मैंने प्रिलिम्स के लिए आई हैव टेकन विजन टेस्ट सीरीज, forum. I've sorry, test series. I'll tell you a trick. You you write as many as possible, and as many different institutes as possible. Because if you write only one institute, uh, if you write only one institute, you will be used to their style of answering questions. I have written forum, I have written vision, I have written Shankar IAS. So I got used to different types of questions. So when I saw questions in the final paper, it was no different. It was because I practiced so much from different question papers. अगर आप ऑनलाइन कोचिंग से नोट्स बना रहा है, प्लीज रिवाइज इट. अदरवाइज there won't be any use of it. Please revise that. पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन से आप प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो, लेकिन अगर आप सपोज एक पीजी क्वेश्चन, एक पीजी सब्जेक्ट लेके, डोंट थिंक दैट इट विल हेल्प यू इन योर यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन. यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन इज डिफरेंट. For example, many PSIR, PhD, PSIR, PG students have gotten less marks. My friends, so don't be in that thinking, in that line of thinking that if you do PG, your marks will increase. See, my English is not that great. Whatever English I could speak now is from movies and newspaper. You newspaper has very good English. You try to speak to yourself. Your English will improve. My this entire English which I'm speaking, this I got it during the course of this preparation. And if you're see, some people are asking me that is English essential? uh, no, they won't see any grammatical mistakes. If you are able to convey what you're thinking to them, that will suffice. You don't have to be a scholar in English or any language to write answers. For optional also, I've taken from Vajiram only. कैसे बना है? See, ऑप्शनल के शॉर्ट नोट्स ऐसे बनाओ, और I'll share it somewhere. You have to see to understand. Now I told you, I understood all those concepts from the books directly, and the things which I have to remember, I made notes in Evernote. For example, um, functionalism. Functionalism is a concept in anthropology. I understood this, and then later in Evernote I wrote functionalism given by B.R. Malinowski in this book, studying these tribes and these islands. So only this part I made in the notes. Only the things which I have to remember and put in the exam. The the concept part I've studied already. I memorized it. I'm telling no short notes. You make short notes. Don't write everything from the reference book in your notes. You write only those things which you think you won't remember in the short notes and the things which are important. Don't write everything. uh, the compulsory language papers are very basic. If you have good nor basic command over the subject, it will suffice to remember polity without note making. Polity, don't make any notes because Vajiram you can't sorry uh, Lakshmikant, you can't make any notes from it. Underline. There are some chapters which are important, for example fundamental rights, fundamental duties, judicial review, center state relations, interstate relations, emergency provisions. These are I'm not giving an exhaustive list, but these are the important uh, parts within the Lakshmikant book, within the polity book. You don't make any notes, just underline there and add on to it. Yes, my optional was anthropology. Society strategy, use newspaper and vision value added material. That would suffice. Practice for essay, you only write. The knowledge you need for essay will be coming from general studies. And the strategy, please note down Mudit Jain sir's essay strategy in YouTube. It is basic, like political, economic, social, cultural, environmental, technological, international, uh, the different dimensions of a philosophical essay with introduction and conclusion. That's it. Mains I have written in Hyderabad. Yes, please. You can make notes from toppers notes as well. I made my optional paper two notes from Apala Mishra ma'am's notes. I have for mains test series. I have taken at least three, four. I mean, I paid for only one or two, but I've collected some other question papers from my friends, from the market, from the bookstalls. इससे के लिए स्टडी नया स्टडी कैसे कुछ नहीं होता है. You use your GS knowledge, and you can take the style of essay writing from editorials as well. The editorial is like a 2000 to 3000 page essay, 2000 to 3000 words essay. My option is anthropology, sir. See, I also did not understand what strategy means. In simple words, I'll tell you what strategy is. It's just like planning, having a schedule, what to study, when to study, so that your marks will be maximized in the final exam. You can't study a less important subject before the examination. So that is one example. So that is what strategy means. I believed in digital notes because I could revise it at wherever. I could carry my iPad wherever I went, and revision was easier. So I made digital notes. If it is possible for you, you make. I uh, I have taken coaching for anthropology and I've studied myself as well. I've done both. My approach for economics is 11th class NCRT, Indian Economic Development, 12th class NCRT, Macroeconomics, Shankar Ganeshan book for basic understanding all basic concepts, and then using Google and YouTube and current affairs. This is my economic strategy. I mean, sources approach. पीवाईक्यूज कितने साल के रीड करना है? अगर प्रीलिम्स है तो 10 से 20 साल का करो, क्वेश्चन पेपर्स करो. अगर मेंस है 10 साल का करो, 5 से 10. If I did core subject, then can I clear exam easily? I have done civil engineering, which is a core subject, I believe, but I have not taken it as optional because it is very vast. Core subjects are very vast, and you may not be able to score well in the final exam. That is why I've taken anthropology. You can clear the exam, but I wouldn't say you can clear it easily. Uh, both coaching, GS coaching as well as optional coaching was online only. I've prepared from home. I don't have any Telegram channel as of now. I'll make it as soon as possible. I'll share all the content what I have as of now. Daily timetable, I won't be able to tell you, but I'll basic schedule I will tell you. Mm, I used to exercise for 1 hour a day to maintain my discipline routine. Second, at least 2 hours newspaper. Third, I used to revise for at least 6 to 8 hours a day, apart from newspaper. Right. So I used to study this much. I only kept time. I have to study like 8 hours. I have to finish this subject. I have to finish these many papers. Beyond which, I went out with my friends. I went out with my family. See, uh, my interview, they asked me very broad topics. They asked me about Amrit Kal and what would you do in Amrit Kal to make India a developed country. Uh, Solving about garbage crisis in India, water crisis. India has only 18%. India has 18% population and 4% water resources. What will you do? In such broad sense, my interview went. I have answered your question about core subject. If core subject is your degree subject, then it's like any other course. If it is your optional, it will be difficult. It won't be that easy because even the subject is vast and also the scoring is difficult. Yes, somebody asking about taking this year's notes and adding value to attempt in 2025. You can do that. I've taken Apala ma'am's notes who have written her exam in 2020. I've taken her notes, added value to it, and written in 2022. It worked. Is philosophy a scoring optional? Aman, uh, I'm sorry, I do not know, but please check optional analysis of some institute you'll find on Google. They'll tell you how many. They'll tell you how many people from which optional have cleared the exam. Drop 1 year. I did not understand your question. Somebody asked about dropping an year to prepare. Hmm. Do both. For current affairs, do newspaper as well as monthly magazine. If you read your newspaper religiously for 1 month, uh, then a monthly magazine is nothing but revision of this 1 month current affairs what you have read. If I have read July month's newspaper continuously, the July monthly magazine is just a revision. Do whatever you want in your free time if you don't feel guilty. Uh, Use old NCRT, because I have myself read new NCRTs, but when I was writing test series, I found them of less use, so I studied old NCRTs again. So you better go for old NCRTs in the first place. I wrote only 3 tests for anthropology, so you cannot ask me this question. I'm sorry. Uh, but answer writing style of GS and anthropology is same, which helped me. I've written many tests for GS. I've written very less tests for anthropology because I was completely studying. Value addition in GS answers, use newspaper, please. Because very few people take information directly from newspaper. So when you take value addition from newspaper, your answers will be unique. Ethics strategy for freshers. Uh, do one thing. Forum May you have a, red book. You have a red book which is very concise. You read that and collect examples from newspaper. That is all. My job, yes, my service allocation, it's IAS. My first option. I don't know about geography optional, but I have a friend who shifted from geography to anthropology, because although geography was a scoring optional once, now the people who score very high marks in geography have decreased. It keeps on, the statistics keep on changing. Once upon a time, geography was a very high scoring option. Now it is not. Once upon a time, PSIR was high scoring. It is still is all now also it is scoring well. So you can't say. मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता था स्टार्टिंग में, मैं जब प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट किया, मैं फिर भी हर दिन 3 घंटे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ता था, 2 से 3 घंटे. A trend of prelims, it will be more knowledge based. If you are talking about GS, in paper 1 of prelims, it will be more knowledge based, less opportunity to guess and use tips and tricks. So make your foundation strong. And don't neglect CSAT, because it is an equally important paper. That is the basic trend of prelims now. Is anthropology biology related? 15 to 20, no, 25%. 20 to 25% is biology related, but it won't be that difficult. It is all it is about development theories, body development, ecological anthropology, why people in some areas of the world are short or tall or dark or fair, something like that. It's about genes, not completely biology related, but 20 to 25% is biology based. Otherwise, it's like sociology. Sociology versus anthropology. If I compare uh, sociology versus anthropology, if I compare, the additional part is that biology related part. Hmm, which it took me 3 months to understand newspaper properly. 3 months. Hmm. How many times have I revised? I have revised at least 7 to 8 times. All of those books I have revised at least 5 times. If it's Spectrum, I have studied 5 times. If it's Lakshmikant, I've studied 7 to 8 times. It's all about remembering. If you remember it in 2 or 3 times, it's fine. Otherwise, read as many times as possible. So this is what strategy is. Strategy. That is why strategy is different from all the people. I've give this is my first attempt. Yes, that is okay. Somebody asking me reading and making notes from coaching, adding value from toppers notes. Rather, uh, add you can't add value from toppers notes. You can add value from current affairs. You add value from newspapers. You take your notes from direct toppers notes. You don't have to write down. For planning only. See, understanding the exam is very important part, and planning takes a lot of time. It will at least take 1 2 months. The initial part of the preparation, I did that only. I've taken the same Vajiram coaching for anthropology. I've prepared for 2.5 years, 2 to 2.5 years. The starting point of my preparation until my result, it is 2 years, 3 months, something like that. Okay, I think the questions are repeating now. And it's been 1.5 hours. Hope this session was useful. And whoever is asking for my notes, 1 year is enough, but 1 year before prelims, I would say, because this exam itself is 1 year long. So before prelims, if you studied 1 year, 1 year for 1 year for the exam, it will take 2 years. So even if it's your first attempt, it will take 2 years to complete. Yes, an average student. There is no definition of an average student. I was a good student when I was in 10th, but I had CGPA of 7 in my college, which is an average score. I prepared for UPSC, cleared it in first attempt. There is nothing called average student, top class student. If you are dedicated enough and plan properly, you can prepare and clear UPSC. So whoever is asking for my notes, uh, whoever is asking for my notes, whoever is thanking me, you're most welcome. Whoever is asking for my notes, I'll make a Telegram channel as soon as possible. I'll paste the link. I'll share it with you. Whatever digital notes I have as of now, I'll share it in there. I've taken coaching from Vajiram, whoever is asking multiple times, both optional as well as GS. I'll share anthropology notes so you'll know how to make notes for anthropology. Don't worry. I'll share it as soon as possible. Uh, Thank you very much. I'm glad that this session was helpful. Uh, Detailed book list for both films and mains. All of these things. Uh, some people are coming late, asking me the same questions again. I'll upload my notes and detailed book list in the uh, Telegram channel, which I'll make it as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Jai Hind. Somebody asking me making newspaper notes. Don't make newspaper notes from newspaper. Only take data from newspaper. Don't make any notes. Don't take those articles and make notes. Only take, for example, if they are telling about criminalization in politics, write uh, write criminalization percentage politics 25%, something like that. Only that you take. Don't take anything else. Uh, I will see. Uh, I have only Instagram right now. Um, in that Instagram, I'll paste this Telegram link, which I'll create as soon as possible. I'll share my notes and book list of my preparation. Mm. I'll interact with you on my Telegram. Thank you. Guys, if you're still there, I want to tell you something. There are fake accounts being created, not on my name, but many of my batchmates' names. If any of them ask you money to Google Pay, GPay, you know this is an easiest trick to get money. So don't follow fake accounts and don't transfer any money to anybody in the name of uh, people who have cleared UPSC, including mine. Thank you. I'm ending this.